Hi guys! In today's video, I'm sharing with you some hair tips that are going to save you a lot of time and effort and are going to keep your hair manageable, smooth, lovely and growing beautifully. These are tips that I personally follow with my hair care routine, so you don't have to be worried that I'm throwing a bunch of mumbo jumbo to you. These are all tried and true and they work amazingly on my hair, so I hope that it helps you too. And if you want to know what these tips are, then please keep watching. So my first tip relates to haircuts. Now, if you have fine or limp hair, stay away from lots of layers and steps in your hair, because since your hair is already fine, steps are going to thin out your hair further and make especially the ends look extremely thin and lifeless. So if you do want to add some bounce to your hair, just bring a feather in the front so that it frames your hair and gives a nice shape to the hair and your face, and keep the back in a straight or slightly U-cut to keep it full at the back and bouncy. Now, steps and layers would be perfect for people with thick or bushy hair because it adds a lot of definition and shape to your tresses and makes it look a lot more manageable and well kept. And it also frames your face really well so that they don't all bunch together in one single line, and this looks beautiful for thick hair. So depending on the kind of hair type you have, go for haircuts that suit your face and your hair type, and also remember the post haircut routine. So go for a haircut that's easy to manage and that is practical if you are leading a very busy life. Another point to keep in mind is that some haircuts look good only on super straight sleek hair, while others look really good on wavy or curly hair. So keep in mind your hair type before you go for a haircut and the post hair care routine that you need to follow, and you have crossed one major step in a good hair care routine. A hot oil treatment, as you probably know, is essential for keeping your hair healthy and beautiful and smooth and nourished. Now, my favorite oil is definitely coconut oil because I have used it from when I was a kid and it's always kept my hair healthy and lush and growing beautifully as long as I've used it regularly. But there are a lot of other oil alternatives out there and I'm going to briefly go through them just for you to get an idea as to what oil does what for you, and you can choose which one you want to go. My next favorite is definitely castor oil because although it's very thick and sticky and heavy duty, it does what it claims to do, and that is to really promote hair growth. Now, I had a lot of hair fall the past couple of years and I used to use coconut oil regularly, but I needed something extra, something that would do a little more than what coconut oil would normally do, and that is to really reduce hair fall and promote hair growth. And I find that castor oil does that amazingly well. So I use castor oil just as I would castor oil on the scalp and a bit on the ends as well, but then go over with some coconut oil on the ends properly because coconut oil just goes into the hair shafts much better than castor oil. But on the scalp, castor oil will definitely work miracles for you. So if you find that your hair is shedding quite a bit and you're having a lot of breakage and hair fall issues, do try castor oil. It will really help thicken your hair, make it much stronger, much more healthy, and definitely make your hair grow healthy and long and beautiful. Now, another alternative could be almond oil. Now, almond oil does all of these things as well. It keeps the hair smooth and nourished. It reduces any kind of frizz and breakage, and it's also slightly thicker than coconut oil. But if you have used almond oil in the past and you really like it, it's an amazing oil that does do wonders for your hair. So you can just pick and choose what's available to you and which one you personally prefer. And the last oil I want to mention is olive oil. Now, I feel like olive oil is newer on the scene compared to these other oils because the other oils I have seen and used personally for a long time, whereas olive oil is slightly more new to me. I haven't used it much. Olive oil is just as good for the hair. Now, it really keeps your hair smooth and silky. It keeps it healthy. It reduces frizz. It gets rid of any split ends because it conditions the hair. All of these oils are really good and effective for the hair. It just depends on which way you want to go. But among all of these, I find that castor oil is definitely the most potent and really packs a punch and really helps stimulate hair growth. Now, once you have applied whichever of these oils you prefer, give your head a nice massage, a thorough massage, because applying oils is going to take you halfway and the other half can only be achieved once you give your head a nice massage, get that blood flow going. So get your fingers inside and just press down on the entire scalp just with your fingertips and go from the top till the bottom right down to your neck, and make sure while you're applying pressure to be gentle with your head because you don't want to cause any kind of headaches and pains later on. And after you're done massaging it completely and you're satisfied and your arms are starting to hurt, frankly, just bend your hair forward while you're sitting in your chair or your stool and just stay like that for a few minutes. Count to 30 to 50 or something, so that's when you know that that blood is actually circulating in your head properly, and that can really boost that hair growth. You can also do a proper exercise. Just kneel down on the floor or the bed and just push your hair forward, and again feel all that blood rushing to your head, and just stay like that for a minute or a minute and a half. And once you feel that it's getting really heavy, then you can sit back up and then repeat it if you want. And I'm sure you get a facial either at home or at the salon once a month. Now it's just as important to do something similar for your hair at least once a month. It could be a hair spa at the salon, or you can do one right at home in the luxury of your kitchen and among the ingredients that you already have. Now, aloe vera is really good for either the skin or the hair. So take some aloe vera gel, strip off the outside peel, just take the gel, blend it, and once it's a nice smooth mixture, apply it in the scalp and right to the ends. Leave it on for about 2 to 3 hours and wash it off, and it really cleans your hair and really nourishes it, because aloe vera is really good for keeping your hair smooth and shiny and make it growing healthily and beautifully. Now, if you don't have aloe vera, you can also use yogurt. Now, if you have dandruff issues, you may want to use sour curd to really help get rid of the dandruff and your itchy scalp and nourish your hair. But if you don't suffer from dandruff issues, then just go for regular yogurt or thick curd and mix in a spoon or 2 of honey in it, and applying that all through your hair, again leaving it for a couple of hours, can really help smoothen your hair down, because yogurt really conditions the hair and it really makes it smooth and shiny, while honey cleans the hair down and makes it really silky and well nourished. If you find that your shampoo is not performing enough, why not give it a little boost by adding some external ingredients to it to make it even better? Now, depending on what you're expecting of your hair, there are a bunch of things you can add to your shampoo. The first being rose water. Now, rose water is extremely mild and it's very good for the skin, but it is also great for the hair. Rose water is really great for soothing a very dry or itchy scalp, especially suffering from dandruff, and it also adds shine to your hair and promotes hair growth. You could also add essential oils to your shampoo. There are a bunch of different ones. There are the most common rosemary one, lavender essential oil, tea tree essential oil. Now, all these oils serve different purposes. So again, depending on what you are looking for your personal hair type, you may want to go that particular essential route. So the first essential oil I want to talk about is tea tree essential oil. Now, tea tree oil is really good if you have dandruff. So if you find that you use a lot of anti-dandruff shampoos and they're still not doing anything for your itchy scalp or your dandruff issue, you may want to add a few drops, maybe 2 to 3 drops of tea tree essential oil in your dollop of shampoo, not the entire shampoo bottle, because that'll really dilute it down, and then massage it into your hair gently, giving it a nice massage while you're washing your hair. And that can really help soothe your scalp down and reduce that itchy feeling and the flakiness and the dryness, and really reduce dandruff as a whole. But do remember not to go overboard, because tea tree is quite concentrated and it's a bit strong, so it can definitely sting if you go too much with it. So 2 to 3 drops is perfectly fine and it will do a perfectly good job. My next oil, being lavender essential oil, is great for keeping your hair shiny and smooth because it really moisturizes the hair. It's really good for the skin as well, so you can add a couple of drops of it into your moisturizer or your creams and even dab it onto your skin. But it's really great for the hair, and it also aids in hair growth. So if you find that you're eating well and you're doing all these different things and your hair is still not growing the way you want it to, then maybe adding a couple of lavender essential oil into your shampoo will really help with that growth. The next essential oil on my list is rosemary essential oil. Now, rosemary essential oil is again great for people suffering from dandruff. It also just keeps the hair really clean. So if you use a lot of hair care products and you find that the shampoos are not getting rid of it completely, rosemary helps clean your scalp and your hair down and really give it a nice squeaky clean shiny feel, and also aid with that dandruff. Next on my list is peppermint essential oil. Now peppermint, as you must guess, again keeps the hair very clean and makes it smell amazing and minty and fresh. And it does sting a little bit, so again I wouldn't go overboard with it, 2 to 3 drops. And this really helps clean your hair down, get rid of any oil buildup, any kind of residue products in there, and really help keep your hair clean and growing beautifully. Now when you're shampooing your hair, make sure you use slightly warm water, not hot, to get rid of any oil or greasy buildup, because warm water helps get rid of all that more easily than cold water. And after you're done shampooing and you're rinsing your hair for the last time, make sure to use some cold water instead of warm, because that helps clean out the pores and lock all that moisture and all that goodness you gave it into place, and keep it frizz-free and smooth until the next wash, and keep it quite manageable. This is a big step in reducing frizz, because I have noticed that when I use cold water right at the end, it really helps smooth the hair down better, and my hair isn't as frizzy for a longer time than it would be otherwise. So do try this, and trust me, it really works. After you're done shampooing your hair, instead of using a turkey towel or any kind of rough towel that can be a bit too abrasive for the hair, use a soft t-shirt instead. Something that's in your collection that you've just discarded and you're not using anymore will work perfectly fine and will keep your hair smoother and frizz-free again, and a lot more manageable, because with changing weather and the heat, your hair can get pretty dry sometimes, and this can really help keep it smoother for longer. If you find that your hair is always frizzy no matter how you shampoo it or how you dry it, I would suggest spraying some water in the ends of your hair and then brushing through, because dry hair increases frizz in your hair. So if you keep it slightly wet, you're counteracting that dryness, and once it dries, it'll still be the way it was when it was slightly damp, straight and sleek and manageable, and not free, most importantly. So if you do find that your hair is frizzy, do try this, and I hope it works out for you, because it's definitely helped my hair stay in shape. Now another tip to keep your hair from getting too frizzy would be to apply some kind of hair serum or a lightweight oil just to the ends of your hair, just lightly brushing them through with your fingers when it's still slightly damp, not soaking wet, so that once your hair dries, it's not completely stripped of any moisture, there's still something left, and it's still bouncy enough and not weighing it down, because you're not applying anything to the scalp region, just in the ends. So this is going to keep your hair shiny and smooth and not free for longer. Another tip to get the most out of your blow dry is to bend forward, bringing all your hair in the front, and blow drying your hair from the bottom right into the crown region, so that your hair naturally gets volume while it's drying, and it stays that way. And also to blow dry the back of your hair from the top, so that you get maximum volume at the back as well. And for additional volume, you could always use external hair volumizing products like some dusting powder or a volumizing spray, and this will give you maximum volume. Now, as the temperatures are rising outside and the sun is beating down on you, I hope you're applying some SPF on your skin to protect it from sun damage. And just as important as it is for the skin, it's important to protect your hair from the sun as well. Now, there are a lot of hair products out there that cater to hair protection now, that have a lot of SPF in them, and you apply that just as you would a normal hair serum from the top to the bottom. In this case, just brush it down like this, and it protects your hair from becoming too dry and damaged and frizzy, and it keeps any kind of color that you have in your hair the same and not bleach it down too much, and also protects your scalp from any kind of heat damage or sun damage. Now, if you can't get a hold of any of these hair products, I would suggest going the Moroccan Argan Oil route, because argan oil really protects your skin as well as your hair from sun damage. So if you're stepping out, if you're going on a holiday, make sure to take some sunscreen for your skin as well as for your hair. And my last tip to you is, if you have oily scalp and you don't want to be washing it every now and again, and you don't want to invest in a dry shampoo, or you just don't see the justification for spending so much on one, you can use talc powder or baby powder on your scalp instead, and it works just as well to absorb any excess oils and keep your scalp nice and dry without having to wash it again. You use it the same way you would dry shampoo or any kind of powder. So I'm going to show you with this dusted powder from Schwarzkopf. So you just dust the talc powder or the baby powder onto your scalp, brush it in, and remember that because it's white, it's going to look a little bit white unless you really rub it into your scalp. So you may want to spend some time just really getting it in. And once you do that, it's going to be dry and clean looking without having to wash it. And this is one of the best tips that I have come across, and that really works. And that was everything, I think. These were all the tips that I follow, and some that I have learned along the way, and some things I've just learned from experience, and I hope that it really helps you have a beautiful hair day all day. And if you try any of these, do let me know. Either tweet me or tag me on Instagram, Twitter, or you can comment below on this channel, and I will love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be back with another one very soon. Bye!